Hello and welcome back to my 30-day yoga challenge. This is day 16. Today's class is yoga for lower backs. So we'll be strengthening and stretching the lower back. So before we start, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would recommend doing so. You'll see regular yoga classes. And also you can start this class with a guided breathing exercise. There's a link below. Otherwise, we'll draw the knees in and come and find a comfortable position, starting lying on your back. With the knees bent, sometimes it can be uncomfortable to have the legs straight at the start of the practice, so we'll draw the knees into the chest, give them a hug, and we'll gently rock from side to side. So playing about with the position of your knees, you can draw the knees a bit closer to the chest, observe how that changes the stretch, and then you can push the knees slightly further away as it massages different parts of the hips and the lower back. So really listen to your back today and only do what feels comfortable for you. So we'll draw the knees in, keep rocking, nice slow breathing in and out from the nose, and then we'll start to circle the knees. So keeping the knees together in this position as much as feels comfortable, and drawing in and pushing away only to the size of the circles that feels comfortable, and then changing direction. So keep breathing in and out through the nose, nice, slow, deep breaths. And now we'll draw the knees into the chest, give them a good hug, and then gently lower the soles of the feet onto the mat to come into eye of the Nino posture. So on your next breath in, we'll lift the left leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee, bring the outside of the ankle on the back of the right thigh, pushing away the heel. Thread the left hand between the legs, lift up your right foot from the floor and take hold of either the back of the right thigh or the front of the right calf. And very gently take a breath in, and on your exhale, encourage the right knee towards the chest. And with your left elbow, you're very subtly encouraging the left knee away from the chest. Just pause here, just for a few breaths. So observing where you feel this stretch. Do you feel a stretch on the outside of the right hip? Maybe somewhere in the lower back? Just pause in a position that feels comfortable. So a bit later we're going to be doing pigeon pose. So if you need to change and do this position again, make sure you feel comfortable. Take a breath in. On your exhale, gently uncrossing and lowering down. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So now lifting the right leg up to the ceiling, bending the knee, bring the outside of the ankle on the back of the left thigh. Push the right knee away from the floor. Thread the right hand between the leg, take hold of the back of the left calf or the back of the left thigh or the front of the left calf. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, encourage the knee towards the chest. And just pause here. So in this position, the most important thing is that your foot, which is closer to your face, which in this position at the moment is your right foot, your foot is flexed, so you're pushing away the heel. This helps protect the knee. So in this position now, you may feel a stretch around the left hip or the left side of the lower back. Just pause for a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and in your mind tell yourself to relax. Try and soften the muscles around the eyes, around the jaw, and around the hip and the lower back. We'll take another deep breath in. On your exhale, gently lower your left foot down, uncross the right. And then we'll bring your hands roughly in line with the shoulders to come into a spinal twist. Take a breath in. On your exhale, keeping the knees together, we'll lower them over to the left and looking over towards your right hand. You can support your thighs, bringing your left hand on top of the knees if it feels comfortable, or you can keep your hand where it is. If your legs don't go all the way down, that's completely fine. You can use a pillow or a couple of pillows either below the knees or between the knees to help support them. And with more practice, the body will soften and open. So close the eyes just for a moment, take a few breaths. Really focus on where you feel this stretch. Do you feel a stretch across the side of the torso, around the hip? You may even feel a stretch across the abdomen. Just pausing for 1 or 2 more breaths here. Now on your next breath in, we'll bring the head into the center, the knees back into the center, realigning the spine if you need to. And on your exhale, we'll take the legs all the way now over to the right and looking towards your left hand. And again, you can bring your right hand on top of the left thigh if that feels more comfortable. or close the eyes and just pause for a moment. Try and slow down your inhale and your exhale, breathing in and out just through the nose if you can. And observe now if you can feel a stretch on this side of the torso, maybe around the hip, across the abdomen. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now to come out of this posture, on your next breath in, we'll bring the head once more into the center, bring your legs into the center, draw your knees in, give them a good hug, and gently lower the legs down. So we'll be coming into supported blocks, so checking you either have some yoga blocks, a pillow or some books. The feet are the distance of your hips, your knees slightly apart. We're going to inhale, lift the hips off of the mat and slide the block or the books underneath the hips and lower the hips back down. So take a moment, have a little wiggle, find a nice comfortable position into supported bridge pose. So you may want to turn, if you have a yoga block, so a little bit higher. So listening to your own body. So we want the knees to be in line with the hips and the ankles in line with the knees. So we're actively squeezing the knees together, but without the knees touching. So this is strengthening the thighs, keeping the chin off of the chest, just relaxing and taking a few slow breaths here, just observing how this feels. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So we're going to come into a strengthening version. So we'll inhale, lift the hips up, hold just for a moment, keep breathing. And then on your exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Draw the knees into the chest, give them a good hug. And then when you're ready, rock completely onto your right hand side. Pushing your left hand in front of your face and coming up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees in table position. So checking that your fingers are underneath, or your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, to come into cat-cow breath. So inhale, lower the abdomen, looking up to where you can see. And on your exhale, draw the abdomen in and up and round the upper back. And inhale, lower the abdomen, looking to where you can see. Try and exaggerate the movements. Exhale, draw the abdomen in and up, round the upper back. And inhale, lower the abdomen, looking to where you can see. Last time, exhale, draw the abdomen in and up, around the back. And then we'll inhale, come into a neutral position, walk the hands one space forward to come into pigeon. So we'll draw the left knee up behind the left wrist. Twist the foot out to the side, so really play with the position to find a comfortable position. And then we'll push back the right leg. Check that the kneecap is facing down, the leg is nice and straight. Take a breath in, lifting up, looking up to where you can see. And on your exhale, gently lowering down, either resting your forearms onto the ground if that feels comfortable, and pausing here. If you'd like to go lower, you can do. You can rest your forehead on a block or a pillow, or you can straighten the arms and have a deeper stretch. So listening to your own body. And again, in this position, if you have any knee discomfort, I'd recommend repeating eye of the needle pose, so you can pause here and go back to that pose. So it's a similar stretch, but this stretch is a little bit stronger on the knee. If you have any knee problems, I'd avoid using this pose. So taking a few slow breaths. Now focusing on where you feel this stretch. Do you feel a stretch on the outside hip of your left leg? Do you feel a stretch in the lower back? What else do you feel? Do you feel you could spend a long time in this pose? Or are you happy to come out? Just one or two more breaths now. Nice, slow, deep breath. On your next breath in, gently coming back up into the forearms, supporting the weight of the body, and then gently coming up to sitting. Bring the hands either side of the hips, gently come up onto the knees, and then walk the hands one space forward and come up into downward facing dog. So gently to relax the lower back, we'll bend and straighten the legs, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, encouraging the chest towards the knees. And then we can walk the hands and the feet together into the center of the mat and come into a standing forward fold. So without any intention to go deeper, you can have the knees slightly bent, you can relax the arms. either down on the floor or the arms crossed, whatever feels comfortable. And just allow the whole of the back to have a nice deep stretch. So remembering to soften the stretch very slightly, you can have the knees slightly bent. Just 1 or 2 slow breaths now. Now I'll inhale, very subtly, we're going to change, look up, flat back. And then we'll exhale, turn all the way to the other side. And coming back into our downward facing dog, so spreading the fingers, feet the distance of the hips, and we'll walk out the legs this time, bending one leg and the other. Encouraging the heels towards the mat so they don't have to touch, but we're gently stretching in that direction. And then we'll take a breath in. On your exhale, gently lower your knees down, and we'll come into pigeon on the other side. So drawing the right knee up behind the right wrist, pushing away the left leg. Have a look that the left leg is nice and straight, checking the kneecap is facing down. Take a breath in, stretching up, and exhale, lower onto your forearms. You can pause here if this is a good stretch for you. If you'd like to lower down, you can do. You can bring your head onto the back of your hands or onto a block, or you can straighten the arms. So checking in this position that your bent leg, so in this position it's your right leg, your foot again is flexed, so you're pushing away the heel to protect the knee. So pausing here, observing any difference from this side of the body to the other side. Where do you feel this stretch now? Do you feel a stretch around the hips, the lower back? So in your mind, tell yourself to relax. Encourage the muscles to soften and to gently relax down. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just 1 or 2 more slow, deep breaths, really trying to fill the whole of the lungs up. And now on your next breath, and we'll start to bring the hands underneath you, come back onto the forearms. Make your way coming up to sitting nice and slowly. Support the weight of the body, gently come back onto your knees, spreading your fingers, and then we'll come back into a downward facing dog. So again, this time walking out the knees, but we're going to twist the belly button towards the right and then towards the left. So really try and twist the whole of the torso as you bend one leg and the other to encourage a different stretch in the lower back and in the chest. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We'll take a breath in, and this time on your exhale, bend the knees, come back into table, and come back into some cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, lower the abdomen, look to where you can see, and exhale, draw the abdomen in and up and around the upper back. Inhale again, lowering the abdomen, looking up, and exhale very gently. Draw the abdomen in and up, around the upper back. Inhale again, lowering the abdomen, looking up. And exhale very gently round. We'll inhale now into a neutral position. Exhale, walk the hands forward, and we'll lower all the way onto the mat. Hands just by the side of the chest. We'll inhale, keeping the elbows into a low cobra, lifting the chest and chin off of the mat, and exhale, gently lower down. Inhale again, lifting up to a cobra, keeping the elbows in, and exhale, very gently lower. Last time, inhale, lifting up to wherever feels comfortable, and exhale, very gently lower. Now we'll inhale, come up. We'll slide the elbows forward and come into Sphinx. So in this position, remembering you can either relax down into the pose, so relaxing the upper back. If that feels more comfortable, you can actively lift up. If you've got any discomfort in the lower back, it helps sometimes to lengthen the lower back by lifting the pelvic bone or pushing the pelvic bone into the ground, lifting the abdomen. So listen to what feels comfortable and play with the pose until you feel a nice, comfortable position. Then gently close your eyes. We're going to stay a few breaths in this pose. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, observing what you feel. If at any time you need to lower down, feel free to do so. Always listen to your body. Just a few more breaths, really trying to encourage the whole of the body to soften and to very gently relax, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We'll take one more slow, deep breath in. And on your exhale now, very slowly start to bring the elbows out to the side, and we'll lower either the forehead or the chin onto the back of the hands and just pause with your head in a neutral position just for a moment. Just observing how the back feels. Nice slow breathing. Just relaxing the back as we're coming towards the end of the class. Now on your next breath in, bring your hands either side of the chest, tuck under the toes, gently push up onto the knees, and then we'll come into child's pose. So we'll open the knees nice and wide, and trying to lower the chest towards the mat and the head towards the ground, but keeping the hips on the heels. So if your head doesn't reach the ground, that's completely fine. You can use a block, a pillow, or something to rest your head on. And then we're just pausing here. So this is very gently stretching the back in the opposite direction to what we previously were doing in Cobra. So it's helping to neutralize the spine and relax the spine. This is a very, very subtle forward fold. So just pausing here, observing what you feel now in the hips and in the back. Just a few more breaths, so inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So it's very important to practice this yoga for lower back routine regularly to really help release any tightness in the lower back. We'll now slide the hands in front of the knees. As you inhale, push into the ground, come up to sitting. We'll gently bring the legs to the side and then shuffle forward on your mat and come down to laying. So one more time, drawing the knees into the chest, giving them a good hug, massaging your back by rocking from side to side. So in yoga, this is known as a free massage. So you can have the knees close to the chest, you can have the knees far away, whatever feels comfortable for your own back. So remember to listen to your own body and always do what feels comfortable for you. Or you can make little circles. So also massages the abdominal muscles and the digestive organs. And then we'll change direction if you're doing the little circles. And then we'll draw the knees in, give them a good hug. And you have two options. You can either gently lower the legs down, nice and flat, with the feet the distance of your hips or the edges of the mat. If this feels comfortable, you can pause here, closing the eyes, take a few moments. If you still have any discomfort in your lower back, you can very slowly bend the knees, bending one leg and then the other, the feet on the outside of the mats, and draw the knees together and just pause here. So the more you practice this routine, the more that the lower back will soften and relax. But remember to always listen to your own body and only do what feels comfortable for you. So closing the eyes, take a few slow breaths in your own time. Just observe how you're feeling. How is your physical body? How is your breath? And how is your mind? I would always recommend finishing the class with a guided relaxation if you have more time. There's a link below. So to finish now, we'll inhale, stretch one leg out, raising the arms up overhead, and then stretch the other. And then we'll take another breath in on your exhale, draw the knees into the chest, give them a good hug, and then rock completely onto your right hand side. Pause for a moment as you push into the ground and come up and find a comfortable sitting position. So the spine nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down the back. Just observing how your back is feeling now. So closing the eyes. So always remember at the end of your yoga practice to take a moment just to thank yourself for dedicating time to you and your own health and well-being. When you're ready now, we'll bring the hands in a prayer in front of the heart. And we'll finish the class with Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please click on the like button below and leave me a comment. And also share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sarah Lane Therapies, for more yoga videos. Thank you very much. Goodbye.